It is Saturday, September the 2nd, 2023, 7 p.m. And this is my Saturday live stream. I came in at 6:59, so for that first minute, nobody was present. Now, so a couple of people popped up. Welcome, whoever you are. I haven't seen any names. It says there are two in the house, one like. Let's see. The Bud Files. Jicky Vlog Official. Okay. Welcome. Jicky Vlog Official, welcome. And the Bud Files. If you're just now coming in, please leave me a like. Appreciate it. The Bud Files in Oak Fart Gaming. Cold War Prepper. Hello, Lee. Idaho Garden Girl. Hillbilly Josh Loftus. Thank you for coming in, Hillbilly. And Guru and Wahoo the Turtle. Yes, Guru, you can lurk. You've made your commitment. You've identified yourself, which is all I ask the lurkers to do, is just give me one comment. I actually tried to call you today and you didn't answer. I didn't leave a message. Wanted to check on you, see how things are going in Georgia. So, 6 in the house, 5 likes. What is there to talk about? Well, there's lots to talk about. 6 likes, thank you. There is lots to talk about. Been looking at the news. They keep arguing over how many people died in that fire. And everybody's looking around and the government is looking around and nobody wants to say what the fault was. Nobody wants to take blame or take credit or, Ark Wildman Survival. Thank you for coming in, Ark. But I keep hearing that there will be upwards of over 1,000 casualties. Supposedly, they were able to identify about 350 people that they thought were missing that are not, which is positive. But then they had another 350 or so that they just identified as missing. The big tragedy. You have 1,000 people die in a wildfire, and where was the effort to get them out of there? They just found the last member of the Catholic school, 100% survival rate. Well, that's a blessing, Lee. Bus stop, hello. that's just, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I just shake my head. I shake my head. Um, I'm trying to figure out what happened specifically with the hurricane um, in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. Interested to learn how long they were without power or how many are still without power. I haven't really. I've been working on posting on my community wall. I did 5 or 6 posts today. I linked over 50 channels. And basically what I was posting, things are tough, internet and electric are back on. We a blessed hurricane was bad here in South Georgia. New vaccine this month in America. Oh, wonderful. Anybody want to take a new vaccine? Whew. More power to you if you do. Oh, I'm horrible, aren't I? Is anybody reading my mind? Anybody think what I'm thinking about those vaccines? You took the old one? Well, God bless you. Hope you don't have any of the side effects. I was listening to the news when I was driving from my school over to the central office for training yesterday afternoon, because we had training yesterday afternoon for 3 hours at the central office. Those that were special ed had to go to an IEP training. And I was, Shaggy Girl, thank you for coming in. And I was listening to the news, and they had they had something out about they had done a study about young people getting vaxxed for, you know, getting the vax. And apparently the results that they got are not what they wanted. So apparently young people getting the vax has a negative response. Also, there's a large number of them that have heart problems afterwards. One of the side effects is it affects their heart, you know. So they're saying like maybe they should not vax young people. For one thing, the COVID didn't affect young people. You know, like, you know, they didn't even know they had it. Most of them, if they got it, it didn't have that effect on them. Melinda Elliott and Uncle Al, thank you for coming in. Val Dostra, 75% still without power. Well, yeah, I guess that's their SHTF. I wonder if they want to think about prepping now, after the fact. Melinda Elliott, thank you for coming in. And Uncle Al. So, I spoke with Uncle Al today and apologized to him. I'm so far behind, it's not funny. Oh, we were talking. He was talking about, you know, my health and his health and what I need to do. And I need to be drinking those green smoothies. So you need to drink a green smoothie every day. So, I need to do something. I need to drink something other. The coffee's not just cutting it. I mean, I dropped the creamer and everything. I'm just drinking it black now, trying to get the caffeine in me. Good Lord. 6 in the house, 9 likes. I've had 12 come through so far. If you have not left me a like, please leave me a like. Let me get to number 10, please. But 7 in the house. Evening, everyone. Ungrateful peasant. Thank you for coming in, Wayne. I need to do an unboxing of my Blue 80 generator that I purchased. I purchased it on Prime Day. I got a 44% discount on it. It's still in the box. I need to do an unboxing of it. I need to make sure that I have all the cables into the setup so I can charge it with solar. I need to go back through an inventory. Now's the time to be filling in preps. You know, I need to make sure I have a couple of more manual can openers, a couple of manual grinders. I need to go buy a bunch of 5-gallon food grade buckets and lids. I need to basically make sure that I've got, you know, what I need stored up, you know. And then rotating. I've got cases of stuff out there that I need to rotate. I need to open up. The wife needs to pull them down and start using them, you know. Don't just use the new stuff and rotate it. So I need to get on to her about that. It's going to be a cold winter. And what do you do if there's a power outage in a cold winter? Do you have a way to heat? You know, what if you're someplace where it really gets cold? I mean, Texas is not the north, but we had a bunch of people die when they had that deep freeze in Texas, the big deep freeze. We had over 100 people die. And I feel bad for people. So if you look at what I posted on my community wall, I think the first post I did today, there was a big pallet of water, bottled water, 24 packs of bottled water. A 24 pack of bottled water is $3.50. It won't break the bank. You need to have several. You need to have more than several, but I'd start off with several. It keeps. Don't sit it on a concrete floor. Try to have them inside, maybe in a closet or something, someplace where you do have some climate control where it doesn't get real hot. They'll last for years and years and years because it's water. Bob 942. Thank you for coming in, Bob. And Wayne is in here on his other channel, Becoming Dangerous. Last time I looked, I think Becoming Dangerous was up to about 80 subscribers. It's Wayne's backup channel. If you have not subscribed Wayne's backup channel, please do so. The other thing I will tell you, thinking about Wayne and thinking about Lee right now, thank y'all for your service to our country. Always thank responders, always thank the military. Show respect. Be respectful to older people, your elders. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Pray daily. Try not to harm anybody. They say do no harm, like doctors say do no harm. Well, try not to harm people. If you have to harm somebody, harm them. You know, and you know what I mean. If you're forced to defend yourself, I hope you know how to defend yourself. You know, I could teach a few lessons on how to defend yourself. I mean, you don't have to be a black belt to learn a few techniques that will get somebody off of you or lay them on the ground. It's not that hard. The human body is fragile. If you know where to strike them, you know, if you know how to do it. we used to practice with. Well, when you study martial arts, you learn forms. You start off, at the bottom, and you work your way up. And usually, like with Taekwondo, there are 10 different levels, 10 different forms, from white belt to black belt. And then, in order to qualify to be a black belt, not only do you have to master those forms and all the, the multi-step they're involved, and then you also have to learn a weapons form. To be a black belt, you have to learn a weapons form. You choose a weapon, which you practice the weapon. My weapon of choice was short staffs, a pair of short staffs. Some people like long staff. Some people would choose a sword. They use like a plastic sword, type thing, or nunchucks, But you learn. You have to learn certain things, and you practice. And the idea is you're trying to develop muscle memory. 10 in the house. The idea being muscle memory being that you don't even think about the response when you see you see a foot coming towards you, or you see a fist coming towards you. You react without even thinking. Fishing Queen. Welcome, Fishing Queen. How's Angel doing? $10 in the house and 10 likes. Well, I'm sorry if you're grieving. I had a family death. My sister passed away. Oh, I'm so sorry. The Lord welcome her. If you feel like talking to me, look at my email address, or my email address is David O. Lynn at gmail.com. Send me your phone number and I will text you and call you, and I would be happy to visit with you, Fishing Queen. Cancer is horrible. When your body attacks itself and your cells multiply out of control, that's cancer. My father died of cancer. He had a brain tumor, malignant. They didn't find it until it was very advanced. They operated on him. He didn't wake up from surgery. But then again, he was also a tobacco user for over 50 years, from about the age of about 12. Back in Georgia, they loved to dip snuff, and they loved to smoke, and they chewed tobacco, and and they did not know back then the harm that it would cause. And then some people get cancer and they never smoke. Well, God bless them. Anthony Chokut. Welcome, Anthony. I will say this, and hopefully, and this is based on my knowledge of scriptures, the dead, whether they had a horrible life or they had a horrible death or they went in their sleep pleasantly, the dead sleep. They're not suffering. Basically, the next thing they know, they'll be with God, the Lord. And the scriptures talk of that. When Jesus went to Mary and Martha, and Lazarus had died, and he had been notified that Lazarus had died. Lazarus had been dead for about 4 days. He was in the crypt. They had a cover stone, and I'm sure he was deteriorating and putrefaction, and it would have been horrible smelling, you know, what happens to a body when somebody dies after a few days, you know. So the Jewish practice, the Muslim practice, you know, they didn't have they didn't embalm, they didn't have embalming or anything. So what happened was, the law required that you bury the person before sundown the following day that they die. So if somebody dies by the end of by sundown that next day, they have to be buried, you know. And but Lazarus had been dead, and he had been dead for 4 days. And Jesus took his time, and he went there, and they were all crying and everything. And he said, well, he's just sleeping. You know, he's just asleep. And they went to the crypt, and he said, remove the cover stone. And then he basically said, Lazarus, come forth, you know. And mind you, this is the power of God. You think God is beyond anything? And Lazarus came out he was wrapped up like a mummy. He came out, and they, you know, he had no idea what had happened. Perfect health. He lived a long time afterwards. You know. That's raising the dead. Jesus did that. And that's what everybody has to look forward to down the road. You know, if you accept the Lord, you may have been dead for 500 years, 1,000 years, a year, 5 minutes. But when the Lord calls, everybody's going to come. That's what the scriptures say. And that's your biblical lesson. Now, oh, is it Anthony's birthday? I haven't been watching. I've been talking. Happy birthday, Anthony. Little Lone Prepper, this your birthday? Well, happy birthday, young lady. I probably need to give you a call. It's been a while since I've talked to you. Little Lone Prepper is back east, I think in the Carolinas, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Kentucky. I can't keep track of everybody where they're at. So, talking about prepping and preps. Make a list. When you make you go shopping, you make a list. And you know what you need. Well, start buying a little bit of extra. Buy extras. Buy extra toothpaste. Have a couple of spare toothbrushes. Floss. Mouthwash. Deodorant. You know. Have spares. It's just a couple. I got to put these up, you know. I mean, if I buy stuff and I just sit it around, it's like it's got to go in, and then I've got to catalog it, you know. It's just. Make a list. Shop, compare prices. Figure out what you have. Figure out what you need. You buy what you use. Why would you buy stuff that, you know, yeah, in an emergency you'll use it. Do you like it? Does it taste good to you? Is it something you'll enjoy? You know, is it comfort? But I hate talking to people, and I have them tell me, in an emergency I'll go to the hospital. In a medical emergency, if you're having a medical emergency, if somebody that's with you is having a medical emergency, go to the hospital. But in SHTF, the hospital does not want you if you're not having a medical emergency. Well, I'm hungry. Well, that's your that's your SHTF emergency, but that's not a medical emergency. Well, I'm starving to death. Well, you may wind up being starving to death if you don't store some food. Good God Almighty. And I really shouldn't be making fun, but I mean, some of the people that you deal with. Gage Babcock. Let's see. Let's go to Gage's channel. Gage has 31 subscribers and 40 videos. I guess a relatively young channel. You've got one video and you've got some shorts. And it's starting to look like, Gage, you are a minor, are you not? I think you're a minor. But I will tell you what, I will copy your link and put it up. And then we've got Susan. ADORNADO Vog. Let me go to your channel, young lady. And you've got 3.3 and 296. I am subscribing your channel, so we are now linked. I subscribed. Let me copy your link. Copy and pasted. And I'm going to give you a standard moderator, so you are now a standard moderator. And then we've got Angry Shadow. Bus Stop, you got some channels in here you can join up with, son. Let me look at your channel. Angry Shadow, you have 225 subscribers and 13 videos. And I just subscribed to your channel. Hopefully you will subscribe to mine. I'm a good friend to have. Let me share out your channel. I just put a link to your channel. And let me give you a standard moderator. And I will be shouting you out on my community wall. Those of you who are here tonight. I tell you what, today I was shouting out from like 3 days ago. So I had like 50 when I was sick. This might have been Tuesdays. Yeah, I think it was Tuesdays. So I basically, those 50 channels that I linked were from my live stream Tuesday evening. That what I did today was from Tuesday evening. And so I will be linking more channels on my community wall. Ulysses Raspara. Snacks. Thank you for coming, young man. When I hear the name of your channel, I want to go eat one, and I want to make sure it's got some vanilla ice cream on it. It brings back memories from my childhood. I was always spoiled as a child when it came to stuff like that. I was always spoiled as a child when it came to stuff like that. 13 in the house, 17 likes. If you have not left me a like, please leave me a like. But I support those who support me. So as I was saying, you need to be buying extra food, extra water, extra snacks, extra beverages. You need a way to heat water. You need to be able to boil water. One of the things that I do, everybody needs a good first aid kit. I send boo-boo kits usually in my I need to go buy some more stuff. I have to get AK Fabes set off to her. I've got the 1400. I need to finish putting that together and get that one loaded up and then get that pack sent off. I'm on my way to 1500 right now. I was looking at Social Blade, and Social Blade's talking about my growth and where I should be and, you know, what I'm doing. I compare myself to 2 or 3 other channels that I follow, that I watch, and we're all about the same, you know, as far as what we're doing. I may be a little bit ahead of them as far as subscribers are concerned, or they may be a little ahead of me as far as subscribers are concerned, but we're getting about the same number of views. We're basically getting about the same number of watch hours when we do our stuff. I've got to up my game on my watch hours. I'm on a race to 4,000. And my goal is to be at 4,000 by Christmas. 4,000 cumulative watch hours for the last year by Christmas. And to get monetized. Right now, if I was monetized, my checks would be pitiful. according to the estimates on Social Blade, you know. Dick on Mixed Channel, thank you for coming in, young lady. Another good channel. If you are not connected with Dick on Mixed Channel, I encourage you to connect. Dick on, there's some new channels in here tonight that just got their wrenches. They're now standard moderators, so you can link up with them. Susan Adornado Vogue and Angry Shadow are both new channels here. You might want to connect with them. Also, I have been linking channels on my wall today, trying to get back to doing that. I did, I think, 5 or 6, I don't remember, community wall posts, and then I linked 10 channels each. I linked over 50 channels today on my wall. And these are all good channels that support me. And yes, some of you who are here tonight, I did not link you because I was basically linking channels from my live stream on Tuesday evening. That was Tuesday's live stream that I was linking channels from. I had over 50 channels visit me Tuesday evening during my live stream, and those were the ones I linked today. And tomorrow I'll work on probably my live stream from maybe the 29th, which would have been Thursday. No, that might have been Tuesday. I don't know. The first was Friday. Thursday would have been 31st. The 29th. Okay, maybe this is from Tuesday, okay? So maybe I was linking them for Monday, I don't know. But I'm behind. You know, I'm behind. And obviously I'm trying to get caught up. But if you're going, Wayne, God bless you. You take care. I don't know. What I have heard is that if you do more than 3 emojis, 3, not 2, it is considered a spamming. Lee. I have heard, now some people say 2 emojis, But see, usually, like, I use two emojis. I usually use the praying hands, and I'll use a thumbs up, or I will do like a laughing. And sometimes I use three. Sometimes I do a laughing, a prayer, and a thumbs up. And I don't consider myself spamming anybody. Garden State Gardener last year, I think he was scolded by YouTube for excessive emoji use. That may be the case. That may be the case. I know that YouTube has slammed people for saying things that are true that they don't agree with. All the stuff about the pandemic. I haven't been, I haven't had anything held against me. I have to be careful what I say. My opinion, I have a fairly strong opinion about a lot of things, and it's not necessarily popular with the less educated, the sheeple, and I was raised old school. I was raised with old school values. When I was growing up, if you had problems with somebody, you deal with your problem. Word got around, other people didn't cause you a problem because you dealt with that first problem really well. And unless they thought they were really badasses, they'd leave you alone. And I got that from my uncle. He told me, you go into a new school, you have somebody mess with you, if it's like one of the school bullies, give them a good fight. I mean, a good fight. And whether you win or not, everybody else will think about it before they mess with you. And I was always bigger than everybody else when I was growing up. And my father insisted on me learn how to defend myself. And I had a temper. And I never bothered people or messed with them. But if somebody messed with me, and they really got me going, not a good thing. So I had a little bit of a reputation. So by the time I was in high school, people didn't mess with me. Well, one time I had somebody used to mess with me. Well, no, I could say a couple times. When I was a freshman, I had a senior who was about my size, and he expected me to be afraid of him. He'd talk, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm not afraid of you. He said, well, I could blah, 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 blah. I said, well, if you think you can, do it. I told him. And mind you, I'm not a badass or anything. I'm not trying to be a badass, but I knew how to defend myself, And, this is just, it's like just stupid. I mean, this was stupid. And, hello, bad body. Thanks for coming. But my senior year, I had this kid. He was about my size. And, he kept messing with me, he'd mess with me. And I really got tired of it, but I did not want to get in trouble for starting a fight with him. So I figured if I punked him out, he'd either start the fight and he'd be the first one to swing, and then I could justify doing what I did, or he'd back off. So one day we were in the cafeteria and he's messing with me. And I just told him in front of God and everybody, I said, look, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to go over to your house and I'm going to beat the SHIT out of you in front of your parents. Now, I honestly think if he had wanted to fight me telling him that and punking him out in front of a bunch of people, that would have got the fight going. He didn't mess with me after that. And he was one of the ultra cool kids. Let's see, who do we have here? Uh-oh, somebody got deleted. What's going on? I'm not paying attention. Who deleted? Oh, that bullfrog. What did he do? Bray Deso was timed out. Uh-oh. Did you get rid of a troll, Local Al? Did we have a troll in here? Did you get rid of a troll for me? What did he do? I do not know, but Uncle Al's he's quick to deal with them. What's my zodiac sign? I don't do zodiac. I'm a Christian. Sorry. I don't know about this. We've got a few channels that have come through that I don't think really it's appropriate for me to post them. I mean, I went and I looked to see who I'm dealing with, and like that one I don't think is one that I think anybody would want. So I'm not gonna. I will tell you this. When you come on to somebody's channel and you're trying to make friends, I would be careful what I said when you're first meeting them. KP Heathen, I would be careful what you say when you're first greeting somebody. And always be respectful. Country girl, how are you doing, young lady? I posted you today on my channel wall. Thank you for coming in. And I will be posting channels on my wall tomorrow. And I'm off Monday, and I'll be doing the same thing Monday. I got to get back my strength. I feel like I'm in slow motion. And food, forest, permaculture, thank you for coming in. If you have not left me a like, please leave a like. It helps the channel with the algorithm and makes me feel good. I watched a video today of Idaho Garden Girl with her cucumbers. And I mean to tell you, those were beautiful, delicious looking cucumbers. And she was weighing them and just, pickling and, she cans. She's got fruit trees that are just, she's got it going. And Ross, Tasty Daily Life, thank you for coming in. Ross, Tasty Daily Life. Another good channel. If you're not connected with this channel, I encourage you to connect. I have told I'm told that it's going to be a bad winter. It's always a bad winter, but I'm told that it's the Uncle Al's predictions. He puts his cap on and he does his voodoo and but he's predicting a real rough winter. So you need to Callie and Jordan Squad, thank you for coming in. You need to make sure that you have a means to stay warm. If you've got a fireplace, if you've got something that's wood burning, make sure you have plenty of wood laid in. I watch Gil when he's getting a load of wood in, and I mean, he works his butt off on that. But it pays off. It really does pay off. And he'll have it when he needs it. You know, you get 20 cords or however much he gets, you know, for the winter. And he's using, see, I've got a wood burning fireplace and I keep firewood, but you know, my thing about is like, I might need to burn wood for 4 or 5 days in a row. That's the way winter is here. It'll get really cold for 3 or 4 days, and then it'll be like 70s, 60s, and 70s for like a month, you know. And we'll have 2 or 3 cold spells where it really gets cold. So you know, and we've got heat, you know, we've got central heat and everything. But I mean, we like to use our fireplace when it's cold, burn wood, you know, whatever. Well, I'm glad you got I'm glad you got those two cases of juice. That's good. I drank an apple juice earlier. You know, a little 4-ounce apple juice. I drink an apple juice. I'm trying to, I'm experimenting what I need to do to get the body. You know, it's like I'm trying to jumpstart the body after being sick. February 9th, 3 here, first week, 6-day ice storm. Shut the city down. Last week, 3 days, over 100. Yep. Yep. Gets down to minus 30 here, nice and brisk. Oh shit. Well, you know, it got down to 19 degrees where I'm at. 19. It was like, good God almighty, 19 degrees. And this is nothing compared to, it was like when they had the big freeze and it stayed frozen for like several days. It's like 22 degrees. And like people are freaking out, you know. And up north it's like, oh, that's a summer day. So I hear you. I hear you. So as I was saying, as the government, you know, the government is having to respond to all these little crises and things and all, and you know, and the way the government responds to situations to throw money at it. Is it smart money or is it? But they're complaining about that situation over in Hawaii. And if you look at all the money that the government has given Ukraine for their war, somebody had said, well, they're giving about 0.1% of that amount of money to try to help Hawaii. I would be one to spend a lot more money on my own people and a lot less on somebody else. I mean, I feel for them, but I mean, it's not my war, it's their war. And it's not worth me sending my people over to die, you know, getting into their conflict. Because, you know, truthfully, the Russians are stupid enough that they'll fight us. You know, when I was a kid, you know, there would be kids that would be stupid enough to want to fight me. You know, and they weren't bright enough to know they were outgunned. You know, and even after I proved it, I'd still have the same kid on. I've had, you know, when I was a kid, I had some fights with the same kid. And it's like, I beat the shit out of that kid and he wants to fight me again? You know, I mean, some of these people have got tempers. It's like a small dog. You know, a small dog is stupid enough to attack a pit bull. And I'm not saying I'm a pit bull, but I mean, the other thing was discretion's the better part of valor. You know, you should know when you're up. You should know when it's time to back off and try to avoid conflict. If somebody's holding a gun, you don't walk up to them and get shot in the head. And like when these shooters attacked these schools, what happened? Oh, the woman principal ran up to the person and got shot in the head. Well, how'd that work out? Was that an act of stupidity? Well, yeah, it was an act of stupidity. Oh, it's horrible you say that. Why? I mean, my sarcasm mode is engaged this evening, and I apologize. But what happened now? Go get a band. Say what? Thank you, Guru. I just saw a little something about that. I don't know. Hello, Walter. I've got some crazy channels coming in here. I enjoyed your video that you did a 4 or 5 minute video that I watched, and I think I left a comment. You were asking about how are we seen around the world by other people. I enjoyed that video. I enjoyed that video. I've had about 30 channels come through that are approved that haven't been blocked. I think I got 6 right now in the house. People coming through. 24 likes. What in the world? Thank you, Guru. Young Barrel Roll. God almighty, some of the names these people choose for channels. I've been having some difficulty trying to link some channels on my wall, having to try to go through and trying to that it wouldn't pull them up, and then I got to go back into my subscriptions to get the exact, because it wouldn't pull up that channel, and that's a pain, you know, especially when you're trying to link like 50 plus channels. Now, if you have not viewed my 1,300 subscriber giveaway video, I linked 42 channels in the description. All of these are top-notch, 110% channels that I support, that support me, that that I swear by, and I owe them all views, and I'm behind. But you have to learn, you know, I'm 61 years old, and I was like anybody else when I was young. I knew what I was taught, and I was taught certain things, and I read. We didn't have computers. We didn't have the internet. I had encyclopedias. I had books. My mother purchased a set of the classics, paperback, 100 classic reads, Robinson Crusoe, and, you know, all those. And I read, you know. When I was a little bit older, I took the local newspaper. I took the Wall Street Journal. I took Time and Newsweek, National Geographic. I mean, I had, you know, periodical magazines that I had subscriptions to, and I get them delivered. And that was I watched the news a little bit. We had 3, 6, and 10, you know, at ABC, NBC, and CBS. That's back when I was growing up. And well, talking about carrying weapons, I know a little bit more going on right now based on, you know, that I'm working as a teacher again. My school district is sort of in a problem. It has a little bit of a problem. You know, you've got the state law that requires you to have a armed peace officer on every campus. So, like, a lot of the school districts already have armed peace officers on their secondary campuses. So, like the high schools and the middle schools, the DAP, you know, where they have the disciplinary kids, they'll have an armed police officer, what they call a school resource officer. But then, you know, the elementary schools, they traditionally would not. And so the district currently has 14 elementary schools. And they had 18, but they've consolidated. They closed some of the rural schools that didn't have much population. They bused the kids to bigger schools. So that would require 14 extra peace officers. Well, the sheriff's department provides the SROs. It used to be the police department. The police department hasn't grown. I've been in Victoria for 20 years, and it hasn't increased the size of the police department. It's got 3 platoons, about 100 people in the police force. Population cities, a little under 70,000. And the county has about 100,000 in the county. But in order for them to have an extra 14 SROs, they can't just take 14 of their deputies and all of a sudden now we're going to reassign them to be SROs, because those are people who are got patrol duties and certain things that they cover, you know, that they do. So then the idea would be, well, we would have to try to do an academy, or we would have to try to hire, you know, in order to do that, because you need an extra 14. Then the question comes down, well, what about paying them? You know, you got to put out the money to pay them. You could probably get some on eBay. You could probably get a set of World Books on eBay, or go to a used bookstore. You could find them. Get a set that's like 20 years old. You know. 13 in the house, 24 likes. I've had about 30 channels come through tonight that's approved. I've had a couple of weirdos come in here and had to be evicted. Thank you to those who did the evicting for me. But speaking of what I was talking about, so my district is using security. They're using, what is the security company they're using? Like the campus that I'm at, the middle school I'm at right now, we've got an SRO, and they've got 3 security guards, you know, armed. And the question is, well, in an emergency situation, will they be of any use? You know, the SRO, in an emergency situation, will the SRO be there on campus, or what will be the use? You know. I don't see a lot of, you know, there are 3 assistant principals, and they're all excellent assistant principals from what I can tell. The principal's a very nice lady, you know, and then they deal with the problems, you know. When I was, last time I was in AP, and we had a campus about 1,100 kids. It was 2 APs and a principal. I did most of the dirty work. We had about 100, you know, 90% of the kids were great kids, and then we had about 10%. Well, you know, you're talking about over 100 kids, 10%. They're constantly having problems. Constantly having problems. you know, they keep you going. And then oftentimes when you deal with you have to contact the parent, you deal with the parent, you know why the kid's the way they are. I mean, I can tell you stories. 10 in the house, 24. 11 in the house. I will be back live tomorrow. I'm not ending here this second, but I just want to say a few things. So in case all you just want to run off, I'll be back tomorrow at 7 for my Sunday edition. And the title for tomorrow, we're going to look at prepping being a long-term marathon, not a sprint. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about buying preps. I'll try to have some prices on some stuff that you need. And I will be posting channels on my community wall tomorrow the way I did today. I did 2 shorts today. If you haven't got a chance to look at my shorts, leave them a like and a comment, please. I think I've got about a little over 100 views between the 2 shorts. And I'll try to put up a couple of more shorts. I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. You're off for a few days, you don't do what you normally do, and then YouTube basically wants to slap you down for it. I practice the Boy Scout motto, be prepared. And my philosophy is always be prepared. Plan. Make sure that your family knows what your plan is. If something happens to you, do they know where your preps are? Do they know where your stash is? Make sure that everybody knows what the plan is. You were one of the first ones to go. And I always tell people to have a blessed day. Life is good. Life is good. And congratulate AK Fabe for her being the 1,300 subscriber winner. I've got to get her package together and I got to get it out. And I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for another edition. And that being said, everybody have a blessed day.